What I want to talk about here today isn't politics and it's not self help. It's about alignment. It's going to be about why so many systems feel wrong right now. Our money, institutions, even our own sense of self. And why the problem isn't chaos, it's misalignment. When the structures we live inside stop reflecting reality, suffering increases. That's the thread tying all of this together. There's an old idea that the map is not the territory. Maps are useful when we need them, but they're representations, not reality itself. When we forget that distinction and start forcing reality to obey the map, we don't create order, we create distortion. And that mistake shows up everywhere. Language is a map, math is a map, money is a map. They're tools to describe reality, not replace it. The moment we treat these abstractions as more real than what they're pointing to, we stop adjusting the map and start breaking the world instead. Fiat political systems are maps pretending to be territory. Authority replaces accountability. Power replaces competence. Decisions drift further away from consequences. Inflation isn't a bug here. It's the cost of maintaining a false map. The system survives by quietly transferring pressure downward. And the same pattern exists internally. The ego becomes a fiat system, a story about who we are, what we control, and what we deserve. When that story disconnects from reality, suffering shows up as anxiety, comparison, resentment, grasping. The inner and outer failures mirror each other. There's usually a fracture point, not dramatic, not explosive, just a quiet realization. Something like, something I trusted doesn't actually work. That moment feels destabilizing, but it's also the beginning of alignment. Alignment doesn't feel safe at first. It feels like insecurity, like standing without guarantees. But insecurity isn't failure, it's actually contact with reality. Truth doesn't offer comfort first, it offers clarity first. Across history, religions, and philosophies, they all pointed toward the same insight that reality is intelligible, that it has structure, and it does push back. When humans disconnect from truth and outsource responsibility, suffering increases, not morally, but mechanically. Now, every tradition recognized a mediator between abstraction and reality, not domination, but service, not control, but stewardship. When power claims to be the highest truth, alignment collapses, whether that power is the state or the ego. When you stop resisting reality, something strange happens. Effort becomes efficient, work becomes useful, service replaces ambition. Alignment isn't passive, it's precise. You stop forcing outcomes and start cooperating with structure. Truth requires courage, not outrage, but responsibility. The antidote to corrupted systems isn't a new ruler. It's individuals who refuse to lie, to themselves or others. Alignment scales only through integrity. Fiat money is noise. It breaks the signal between effort and reward, between time and value. Bitcoin restores that signal. It doesn't ask for belief. It reinforces rules through reality, scarcity, time, work. It's truth expressed as structure. Real power doesn't dominate. It submits to reality. The strongest systems are the ones that cannot lie, even if they wanted to. Alignment always looks weaker at first, until everything else collapses under its own friction. This isn't a manifesto, it's an experiment. Stop forcing the map onto the territory. Stop outsourcing responsibility. Start aligning, internally and externally, with systems that don't lie. The question isn't whether this is comfortable, it's whether it's true. And if this perspective resonates with you, if you think this kind of clarity matters more than the noise we're surrounded by, Liking and commenting helps us reach people who are looking for that alignment. It's a small action, but it helps push this message further than the junk we're usually fed.